Happening now, a routine traffic stop leads to an arrest for cocaine possession. High winds causing damage countywide.
And I'm Dakota Hunter and the First Defense Weather Center. Boy, it's cold out there today. The temperatures have been on the downward spiral throughout the morning. We'll talk about how cold it will get. Plus, the winds are really whipping out there. How windy will it be? I'll tell you, coming up.
County Executive George Borrello visits his 100th business today. Our Justin Gould is live in Westfield. That's news now for Wednesday, April 4th, 2018.
Live and on demand from the Chautauqua Audio Works Studios in downtown Jamestown. This is your source for breaking news. WNY News Now.
Hedrick, it is 39 degrees and windy AF. You are looking live at the Lakewood camera. A rundown of all the stories you need to know about is just moments away. But first, we turn to Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter. A look at our weather. What's up, Dakota?
Hey, good afternoon, Ryan, and good afternoon, everybody. And boy, it is definitely chilly out there. It's definitely a lot chillier than it was at this hour yesterday. Ooh, boy, and those winds are really whipping out there. First, let's take you to the radar. We'll take a look at the Viper radar to start off with. And you can see that there's a few of that blue and purple stuff mixing into the green. That is, of course, some of those snow showers that are starting to occur. Of course, the rain is starting to transition over to snow as that colder air starts to filter in. So again, some of those snow showers. And the good news is we don't expect a whole lot of snow accumulation out of this today. And as we put it in a couple-hour time lapse, you can see how it's starting to turn over to snow as that cold front starting to plow through the region, and that's also dropping our temperatures as well. So to break down the forecast for you, our high temperature occurred early this morning at around 5 o'clock. It was 57. We're going to fall down to 30 by the time.
That is so weird.
Yes,
that is
I know.
just weird to me. The dynamic is so interesting and so wide-ranging that on days like this, you, my friend, become the center of attention.
Oh, please. Anyway, Ryan just stroking my ego today. And you can see pretty much 30 degrees will fall down to it. Temperatures go the wrong direction. And look at the wind. Southwest, 26 to 35, and gusts around 60, 65 miles per hour at times as well. In fact, we've had wind gusts reported over 60 already. I'll actually show those in the full weather segment in just a little bit. And rain and snow throughout the day, and it will be chilly. We'll break down that full quick solution 7-day plus, how windy it's going to be in just a couple of minutes.
Dakota, thank you. Chautauqua County Executive George Borrello is in Westfield right now, right as I speak, at the Growers Cooperative Grape Juice Company, part of his 100th business in 100 days. That is where we find our Justin Gould standing by with more. Justin, good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon, Ryan and Dakota. We are at the Growers Co-op in Westfield with County Executive George Borrello and company this afternoon. And you guys, a really important day, George, for you and your initiative, a promise that you've made throughout your campaign, visiting 100 businesses in 100 days. And today, you're ahead of schedule.
Yeah, that's right. Today is day 94, and this is business number 100 right here at the Growers Co-op in Westfield. So we're excited to be here, and we thank Steve and Phil for inviting us and having us here.
100 businesses is a lot. Well, it's a small number if you're looking at the scope of Chautauqua County, but for one man and his crew to go to it, it seems like a lot to the public out there. What have you learned as you've gone throughout your journey hitting number 100?
You know, I think probably the most important thing we've learned is that despite what people may have heard, that manufacturing is alive and well here in Chautauqua County, and also that we have jobs here, good paying jobs with family sustaining wages. What we need is a more skilled workforce and people that are really motivated to show up to work every day. And that's really the story that we have to tell. And it's also how we have to realign our economic development resources to focus on supporting the businesses that are here, that know the challenges of doing business in New York State and are thriving and surviving despite of that. And we want to support those businesses first before we start looking outside to bring more people here and more businesses here. We want to support the businesses and the people that already are here.
And George, next month there's going to be the Dream It, Do It STEM Wars, which was rescheduled after a little snowy weather a few weeks ago. But we spoke with J.U. Kulkrick last year at that event about how manufacturing has changed. It's not your grandma and grandpa's manufacturing. And I know you told our Ryan Hedrick when I was on vacation a couple weeks ago that you could almost go to some of these places with a white shirt on and it's pristine. What have you seen, and what are these businesses calling for?
It's advanced manufacturing. That's truly what it is. And every business changes over time. But if you go now and go to a place that does what was normally a manual manufacturing process that are now operating with CNC machines that are programmed and that requires programming and math, and that you can have one person operating multiple machines in order to create product more quickly and efficiently. That's what advanced manufacturing is, and that's what we are hopefully going to start transitioning from our educational institutions, and that's already occurring in a lot of places. It's occurring at BOCES with P-TECH, it's occurring at JCC, and every industry has an opportunity, I think, to move on to the next level, and here in Chautauqua County that's already occurring, and we have to have now the skilled workforce to meet that demand.
And I want to turn to Steve now. You do have a white shirt on today.
I do have a white shirt today.
So it's just perfect for my analogy. But working at a grape plant like this, what are some of the workers that you're looking for? Some of the people who would want a job here?
Who would want a job here?
Steve would.
Right.
We have production people who are running $1 million piece of machinery to make the juice from the original grape, to filter it, to concentrate it, to put it into the finished drum or tanker, and send it to juice manufacturers, jam and jelly folks, to wineries, not only in our area, across the United States and overseas as well.
And what are some of the products that you do produce here? I was looking at your wall. It's kind of surprising. You wouldn't think that this was made in Chautauqua County.
Well, we primarily make juice and juice concentrates. Our bread and butter, of course, is making Concords, but we also do other grapes, Niagaras, Fredonias, Catawbas. But in our off-season, we process any number of other fruits, of blueberries, cherries, peaches. I may even get some acai in later this month.
How exotic.
So anything to keep the equipment running in our off-season.
So, you gave a little presentation to the executives team earlier today about the importance of grapes and how special it is in Chautauqua County. Can you give us a taste of that as well?
Well, we have a narrow band of land between Silver Creek and Harbor Creek that is really well suited for growing grapes. And traditionally it has been Concord grapes that have brought our farmers money, and the future, I think, will be the wine industry, which will drive our economic future of the grape belt. And so as wineries will add more value to the grapes that are grown.
All right, great. Thank you both. We'll follow you along on the tour as we go throughout the afternoon here, and we'll of course have a full story up on WNY News Now following the day. Reporting live in Westfield, Justin Gould, WNY News Now, where coverage comes first. Back to you, Ryan.
Reports of power lines down and trees crashing into houses from Silver Creek to Asheville. National Grid says they have nearly 2,000 service workers on standby and tree workers as we brace for this hellacious weather we're about to experience. County Executive George Borrello said the horrific discovery of a hanged dog on Monday is a reminder that there are evil people capable of doing despicable things. The county executive's comments come less than a week after the county legislature tabled a local law that would have created a county-wide animal abuse registry. And the Jamestown Jackals are 2 wins away from a championship after putting the Du Bois Dream to sleep last night, pardon the pun, with a convincing 21-point victory. We do have breaking news from the Jamestown Police Department. I'm just getting this in. Jamestown Police Chief Harry Snelling says that there will be an update on the hanged dog coming up this afternoon. We're not sure if that's in the form of an arrest or just information about the suspect or suspects or just another plea for the community's help. But keep it locked on WNYNewsNow.com 24 hours a day for the absolute latest. You could also follow us on Twitter at WNYNewsNow.com. On the other side, more weather, more news, and more crazy stuff. As long as it's not hovering and blowing around my head, this is News Now, Facebook Live, WNY News Now.
WNY News Now is sponsored by Chautauqua Audio Works, 3335 South Roberts Road in Fredonia. More than a music store. Call 679-4333. Call now, 679-4333.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
WNY Sports Now is powered by Phone Zone of Jamestown. With the largest inventory around, we buy and sell our own merchandise at a price that can't be beat. Have a broken screen? We'll fix it. Learn more at phonezoneshop.com. You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
And welcome back to News Now. And boy, oh boy, it is chilly and it is windy out there. Now, the National Weather Service continues that high wind warning for pretty much all of western New York. That goes until 8 p.m. tonight. And this is for the potential for a wind gust around 60 to 65 miles per hour, possibly even higher as well. And they also issued a lakeshore flood warning for all the areas that border pretty much Lake Erie. And this is for the potential with the strong winds coming off the lake that could cause some minor lakeshore flooding right along the immediate lakeshore areas, and that goes until 4 p.m. this afternoon. So just kind of keep that in mind. If you live near the immediate Lake Erie shoreline, some higher waves could be crashing up along the lakeshore, but it's mainly going to be a wind threat today, as you can see here. So let's give you the first defense on everything you're going to need to know for today. Now, the winds will continue to increase throughout the day, and the strongest winds will likely be between now and this evening, where wind gusts could be around 65 miles per hour or even higher. Now, the cold front that was out to our west, that was actually blowing through our area pretty much last night and this morning, is changing all that rain that we've had over to snow. And then now the good news about this is we don't expect any snow accumulation today, but that could change going into tonight. And speaking about the wind gusts, we are in a real-time chat session with the National Weather Service in Buffalo, and I'm just and we've had so far here, the Dunkirk Airport had a report of a 64 mile per hour wind gust at 11:20 this morning. And let's see here, a lot from Wyoming County, Erie County, which is in the city of Buffalo. Yes.
So this is straight from the National Weather Service into the palm of your hand.
Yes.
Wow, this is incredible.
We are in a real-time chat session with the National Weather Service office in Buffalo, Cleveland, and State College. And this is coming straight from the Buffalo office. I have it here on my phone.
Let me ask you,
yes.
the Detroit Tigers Kansas City Royals game has just been postponed. That's in Detroit.
Yes.
So if you're getting information from Cleveland and State College, are other areas, other states being affected by high wind gusts?
A lot of it's actually the severe weather that they had yesterday. Now, of course, there actually is a wind advisory down to our south that actually includes Warren County, PA. But Cleveland, it's mainly because of what happened yesterday. They had some pretty severe storms yesterday with some possibly a couple of tornadoes that came through yesterday. So a lot of it out in Ohio is from what was left yesterday. We're pretty much getting into the windy side of things, which is the result of that cold front that was blowing through the area, and that was as expected. So wind gusts have already been higher than 60 miles per hour so far today.
What are they seeing in New York City right now? Do you know, because I know the Yankees are set to play here in a couple of minutes. Are they getting severe weather like they had last night? Because last night they had snow during the game.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, actually, today it's a lot more quieter.
Nice.
So that's the good news. It's a lot more quieter out to our east, but as that cold front kind of continues to track off to the east, that could be a little bit of something that they're going to have to keep an eye on. So pretty much as that cold front kind of moves away, you can see temperatures are always warmer ahead of a cold front, of course, which was the case last night. But as that cold front comes through, that really drops the temperatures. So this is a live look outside downtown Jamestown from the HD News Now cam. Look at all the clouds just streaming in.
That is ugly.
And yes, it is ugly, isn't it?
Ugly.
Yes, that is ugly. And the current numbers at the airport, it's 35 degrees at the Jamestown Airport. Stark difference from where we were just this morning. The temperatures continue to go downhill. It feels like 22 when you combine it with that healthy west wind of 28 miles per hour. At least we got 10-mile visibility. That's good. So, at least we don't have any low-lying fog out there for today. Now, Doppler vision, you can see there is some of that rain that's changing over the snow pretty much in Chautauqua County, and there's a little bit more of it coming off Lake Erie. Now, this isn't necessarily lake effect, but a lot of it is the result of that cold front. It's behind it, so a lot of this has flared behind that cold front. So what can you expect for tomorrow? Well, the zone forecast is pretty much showing here temperatures really cold. Take a look at this. Pretty much lower 30s and then probably a few upper 20s, especially right on the hilltops. Very, very cold for tomorrow, but at least it won't be as windy, but a chance for a few flakes. Winds will come down to about 10 to 20 miles per hour, and especially eastward, the temperatures really come down here into the 30s and again upper 20s, especially on the higher hilltops. Very cold, but not as windy. That's the good news. So at least we won't have that. Let's take you through Future Scan. You can see there's that snow that's coming through the area now, and then it'll continue moving west to east throughout the day. And then as we go throughout the night, the snow will continue, but the model tries to paint us a few breaks in that snow coverage. I do think that might actually be the case, but tonight the snow will probably start to stick tonight. So yeah, don't be surprised if you wake up tomorrow morning and you have a nice little light coating of snow on the ground.
Gary Porter wants to know if these are straight line winds.
The straight line winds, it's actually not really related to straight line winds. Mostly straight line winds are actually the result of thunderstorms in a Boeing line segment. These are mostly just damaging wind gusts.
Okay.
The straight line winds mostly, not all the time, but mostly occur within thunderstorms, but not always. But in this case, it's just related to pretty gusty winds. So that was a good question. I'm glad you actually asked that question, because that's a good question. So you can see for tonight, the snow probably will taper off a few breaks, but then more snow continues for tomorrow. And again, how much snow are we going to pick up? Not a whole lot. And you can see here, the model's only pointing to about half an inch of snow, probably about 1 to 1.5 inches of snow. Not a big deal. But again, don't be surprised if you do wake up and you see a nice little light coating of snow when you get up for the morning drive tomorrow. So 34 degrees at 2 o'clock, chance for a few snow showers, and it will be windy. The winds will just be up all day long. As we go to about 4 o'clock, we'll be going down to around 32 degrees, and look at the winds, 22 to, it'll still be windy.
For heaven's sakes, it's April.
Well,
bring in the good
April,
weather already. Producer Andy just said too much for April. I echo that. Raise your hand out there if this is too much bad weather for April.
April and March are the two biggest wild cards of the entire year.
Yeah.
March, we're supposed to be exiting out of winter, but boy, things can, change in a heartbeat. And April also can bring us some very interesting weather. At about 27 degrees at 8 o'clock. And this is probably when that snow will start to stick, probably around an inch of snow, about an inch of snow, mainly on the hills. Future 7 days are coming up, brought to you by Quick Solutions. And there you see for Friday, 38 degrees. And we're bringing a few snow showers as well. So that'll be the best chance to see any accumulating snow. Probably about an inch or two out of that. Not a big deal, but it is accumulating snow nevertheless. And temperatures really just don't go very far for the remainder of the week. It is going to be a cold weekend, but at least we'll see some partial sunshine on Sunday. That's always good. It looks like the temperatures go back into the lower 40s for early next week, but we should be around 50 this time of the year. And that's
take your vitamin D, folks.
Yes,
don't let them deprive you of all sunlight.
Yes, take your vitamin D.
Take your vitamin D.
Yes. Oh, okay.
Hey, D, what's up?
Yes, what's up, producer?
Hey, Dakota, right now you'd want me to go to break, right?
Yes.
Oh, so you would want me to do my job?
Yes.
Okay, well, I want sunny temperatures. I'll take
that's a heck of a barter right on the air. I don't know how to take that.
You know, it's just like what we always say. Let me step back out on the wall here so I'm back out on camera. You know, it's just like what we always say. I'm just the messenger. We'll be right back after the break.
We're shooting you.
First Defense Weather is sponsored by Quick Solutions of Jamestown. Count on Quick Solutions for printing, copying, mass mailings, and so much more. Part of your team. Learn more at QuickSolutionsUSA.com. That's QuickSolutionsUSA.com. With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
It's tax time, so get to Express Bike and Auto in Jamestown for all of your vehicle needs. Service, inspection, vehicle sales, they do it all. For all of your automotive, motorcycle, and ATV service needs, Express Bike and Auto even offers financing. Your true one-stop vehicle shop is Express Bike and Auto in Jamestown. They're located at 1761 Foot Avenue Extension next to Quick Fill. Express Bike and Auto in Jamestown. Stop looking, start saving today.
I just love to be with the dogs, and I like to do them one at a time. They don't wait for 5 hours in my shop. We have full groom, which includes everything from A to Z, nails, of course brushing, any trimming that needs to be done. I do offer teeth brushing, which is a little extra. So if he takes me 2 hours, it's $40. If he takes me 3 hours, I still keep it down. As long as the dog comes back happy and not at the door, I'm happy.
And welcome back to News Now. As I turn down my IFB, everybody knows, God, I hate that. Everybody knows my disdain for IFBs and anything in my ear.
We feel you, Ryan.
During a live broadcast, it sucks.
Yes.
It really just, it's not my thing.
These things are not the most comfortable thing in the world, needless to say.
When I was in radio, I used to broadcast with my hand over my ear or just like tiny Apple iPod earbuds in, so when I didn't want something in my ear, I could throw it away. But in radio, you could come in with pajamas and sandals, and kind of like they do at Walmart in Jamestown, right?
It doesn't matter what you look like as long as you sound good.
Yeah, producers do that all the time, I hear. So
I think our producers, well, actually, I think our producer is actually in the back sitting in his underwear today.
No, that's a horrific thought. No more horrific than what happened yesterday. In Jamestown, a hangdog on Monday was discovered at about 7:45. We are awaiting an update from the Jamestown Police Department as to what the heck happened, who the suspect or suspects are, and we'd like some answers. The community would like some answers. We've had an abundance of interaction on Facebook, both on a live Facebook broadcast that we did yesterday at about 2:30, 3 o'clock, and on a subsequent article that we published immediately after that Facebook live broadcast. I do want to say this. There is a dangerous precedent being set in Mayville by Chautauqua County Prosecutor Patrick Swanson, and whatever you feel my agenda is about Patrick Swanson, I frankly don't care. I care about the safety and sanctity of this community, and I care that we can get dangerous criminals off of the streets. Do you know, whether you're left or right, conservative or liberal, that your tax dollars are being spent for this guy to screw case after case after case after case up? And do you know that there are many dangerous criminals that are now walking the streets because of the impunity they feel in Patrick Swanson's inability to prosecute cases? Now, I spoke to a lawmaker who was on the record. His name is P.J. Wendell, or Paul Wendell, as many of you know him, in Lakewood, and he told me that the county legislatures will give no more monies for the prosecutor to screw cases up this year, and that if he messes up the Rosemary Bilquist murder case, or I'll call it a manslaughter case to be politically correct, that he should probably just step down. This dangerous precedent being set by Patrick Swanson at the DA's office, the inability to prosecute cases, is exactly the ineptitude that we should all be so scared of. The ineptitude and the laziness of which he has prosecuted cases has shown criminals far and wide in the county and out of the county that there is a precedent being set that you can commit crimes in Chautauqua County and simply not be prosecuted. Is that the kind of prosecutor that you want at the helm of the prosecutor's office? I urge each and every one of you that are watching this broadcast today and that will see it in the coming days to please get on the horn. Get the email, get the phone calls fired up, call the prosecutor's office and tell him that you want answers, real answers. Because if he can't even prosecute a murder case of a woman, Rebecca Ruiz from Dunkirk, that told police that she murdered her boyfriend through a door, if he can't get a prosecution out of that case, what are we to expect when Rosemary Bilquist's killer is tried again for the second time? I'm Ryan Hedrick, and the opinions and thoughts expressed on News Now are mine and mine alone. If you want to contact me, feel free. Ryan.Hedrick at WNYNewsNow.com. This is News Now on Facebook Live. More on the other side.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
The Main Landing Restaurant. Excellent service, awesome food, and a beautiful view.
Everything's made fresh here. We love to be outside, and it's nice inside if it's raining, so we have a choice.
Locals and non-locals agree that the Main Landing is quickly becoming a destination.
It's just so casual, and just the food is amazing.
I love the hamburgers.
But I really like the tuna I had.
The Main Landing Restaurant. Excellent service, awesome food, and a beautiful view.
What matters to you matters to us. Every story, every day.
I sat down with the candidate following last night's meeting, an interview you will only see on WNY News Now.
Small, proud, and dedicated community that is shocked, angered, sad.
The old Dunkirk City School building has been remodeled and retrofitted with 21st century technology.
Feel demoralized in a sense by the power structure?
I don't really know. I mean, maybe, but there's just not a lot of information, I guess, to change some things, I suppose.
Chautauqua County Executive George Borrello is in the nation's capital right now, advocating for several water projects in the county.
This ban will ultimately lay down some more snow our way over the next 24 or so hours. Now, zooming the radar out.
WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
And welcome back. It is News Now on Facebook Live. Thank you for joining us. And if you haven't liked our page, where in the hell have you been? It's WNYNewsNow.com. We have fresh content up, including a story about National Grid being urging residents to be prepared. And I don't know why we have to say this, but I think we do. Never touch a down power line.
Right.
Never touch a down power line, because we're just not sure if it's inactive or active.
Yep, exactly. And, you see down power line. I mean, it's so tempting to see down power lines and maybe to move them off your car or whatever, but don't, because you don't know for sure if those lines are still live or not. So.
AD, do we have a shot of that child abuse sign that's just like all sorts of screwed up over between 5th and 6th? I think there was because I want to make a point here, and I might have put AD on the spot. We do not have that. We'll run it tomorrow. I want to make a point, though. We have an incredible platform for which local businesses to advertise with us. And whether you agree with it or not, whether you agree with our views or not, you cannot dispute our numbers. Over the past 2 days, we've had more than 30,000 people visit our website for exclusive content you can't get anywhere else. And if you think the Post-Journal broke that hanged dog story, go crawl back under the rock that you came under from. I will tell you this, we fed multiple media outlets yesterday with that very important information. Not to make the Post-Journal the subject of this rant, but I will tell you this, if you want more bang for your buck, more saturation than you can even know what to do with, and more results than you've ever expected in marketing and advertising, as more people cut back and more people really decide about whether to spend their money and how to spend it effectively, please contact the sales account reps at WNY News Now, 488-7226, because we have an incredible platform that we'd like to share. And our point is very much like George Borrello's point. We want to grow Chautauqua County businesses. We want to see everybody thrive. If we don't thrive, you don't thrive. And I think that's the message I want to convey, because Dakota works his butt off every day to get you the latest forecast. We're not using Channel 2, Channel 4, Channel 7's information, Dakota. You have your own information center that's been documented in a promo numerous times on WNY News Now's News Now program on Facebook Live, and you work your butt off, but we can't do this alone. We need the community support to be out there to get the truth, because as these elections come up in 2019, who do you want in office? Prime example, do you want Patrick Swanson in office again? Raise your hand. Raise your hand if you want a guy that can't even prosecute cases. Do you know what his record is thus far in the past couple of years? He's 1 for 15. 4 mistrials. 4 mistrials. All the drug dealers have their hands up right now. I want him in office. I want him in office. Well, as a taxpayer, I don't want him in office. And neither do your kids or your kids' kids or their kids' kids. If you want an inept prosecutor in office, just keep thinking that your vote doesn't matter. That's how your vote matters. Final look at weather, Dakota.
Yes, and oh, pardon me. Boy, mucus in the throat today. Anyway, too much information, but before we take a look at that 7-day one more time, I wanted to pass along a few more damage reports coming in straight from the National Weather Service. We have reports of trees and power lines down in Sheridan in Chautauqua County. In Panama, there's reports of trees and power lines down there as well. There's also reports coming in from local law enforcement in Cassadaga that there's also trees and power lines down there as well, and trees and power lines down also in Ellington as well. And these are all coming in straight from the National Weather Service chat. And
I just got a report of a tin roof blowing off of a trailer in Cassadaga. So the winds are whipping. That may be the law enforcement source that you're talking about. But nevertheless, I'm plenty of information to illustrate how destructive these winds are.
Yes, and it is definitely gusty. So let's take a look at that 7-day one more time very quickly. And you can see wind gusts today will probably be around 60, 65 miles per hour, even higher. Cold temperatures here for the remainder of the week. So it is not April at all. We should be around 50 this time of the year, and that high wind warning continues until 8 o'clock tonight.
All right. For the latest and the greatest, head to WNYNewsNow.com. Also follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, or wherever you get your news from. We're available for you 24/7. For Dakota, Justin, AD, Matt, and Rory, I'm Ryan, bidding you a very pleasant and safe good afternoon.
See you tomorrow.